Alright guys, so today we're gonna be talking about some quality of life improvements that I would love to see in the game and some that are coming up with the next updates. What's up guys, this is your boy Rusian with another Raid Shadow Legends video. I know I've been talking a lot lately about things to better the game. Let me know in the comments if you guys think of anything that you think it's just old and needs some improvement. First of all, let's talk about faction wars. And if you guys have watched the raid videos, you know that they actually have just now announced that they are going to add hard mode. The only reason why I say that's very important is because right now, if you're looking here, I have the free to play, the challenge account, and yes, I'm still really far away from getting Lydia, the Death Siren. But the problem is, on my main account, and so is most of the other players, we already got her. So the only thing you get to come in here is, at the end of the day, run the highest stage you can and just get some forged materials. What can get very tiring. To be honest with you guys, on my main account, I rarely do it. I just forget about. I have a lot of materials already. So it just gets boring. Listen up, click on the link in the description right now and get a free legendary Karato and 4 amazing epics as you level up. And here are the steps you guys need to follow to be able to get this. Step 1, log out of Player in Play on PC. If you never had Raid installed on your mobile phone before, the link will work in there too. Step number 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Step number 3, launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Step number 4, go to your inbox and claim your first champion. And here you go. You find Karato here, as well as Uugo, Rector Drath, Tagoar, and Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. This is an amazing account starting raid, so click on my link on the description below and follow these steps. Now let's talk about quality of lives that are not in the game. So as you guys know, Raid has been doing a lot of improvements. One of them has also having to do with the market, right? So they had everything like Bazaar, Altar of Souls, Token Trader. To be honest with you guys, I'm so used to go to the place that we usually had them that I still use the same old ones. This was pretty good. I just feel it was a little bit late for a lot of players. A lot of people are just used. Sure, give some time, I'm probably gonna go directly in there. But what do we really need right now would be a way for us to come in here and actually filter our equipment by level. And hold on, I'll explain why. So, free to play account, brand new account, less than 3 months. I have a lot of space, right? Raid has been really good giving us space. The problem is, you know how hard it is to look through thousands over thousands. So, we have like 1600, right, slots. You know how hard it is to go through if you need to do a cleanup? Very hard. And takes forever. And I don't have the patience, so what happens to me is, on my inbox, I have a lot of gear that I need to figure out if I need it or not. So, if I was actually able, and I know we have resources, but they're not on Raid. That's my point. So, if I was able to filter in here, and when I come to rank in rarity, I had another tab that allowed me to check for level 0, 4, 8, 12, and 16, right? Because a lot of equipment, I know to look through the level 8s and be like, well, this is a rare. I pulled everything on flat stats, just get rid of. That would help a lot. I could get rid of those in 5 seconds. So this would really help. I don't think it looks to be such a hustle for them to implement, and I think it would be much easier for us to manage our equipment. So, equipment done. Now, one thing that has been bothering me, and it's something that, for example, in the challenge on the first week, we had already completed, and it's campaign. I would love to have a new campaign. And the most because, if you guys look in here, this is pretty old. The gear you can get from here is already old. So I would say they should have a different type of campaign that maybe you can only unlock when you are already level 60. I know that Doom Tower is kind of like that, but I really feel it would be interesting to enhance campaign. And yes, we already have going all the way to Nightmare. Maybe put a Ultra Nightmare campaign. Just something new, okay? So People can try to strive and complete. I don't know. I do enjoy going through campaign. Maybe a couple of new bosses. Who knows, right? This is another thing, because the moment you're done in here, you know, you may just go in there to level your champions, but that's all you do. Dungeons, I really have no complaints. For the most part, the most with the introduction of the event dungeon, I feel that was a great improvement. I do feel that potion kips should have the potential of also, and same thing goes for Minotaur, because it takes forever for you guys to be able to get masteries, but is to be able to have super raids, just like all the other dungeons. Honest with you guys, I do run my masteries on Minotaur, because if you guys been in the channel for a while, you know that you actually save about 200 energy if you use your gems to get energy, but it takes hundreds of battles. I use RSL Helper to do that, because even with my pass, I have 125 battles total, and it's not enough. It would really help if you could super battles in here. Super battles, what's the name? Super raids. Yes, same thing for dungeon kips, because it takes forever. I even think Iron Twins Fortress should also be able to allow that. I know I'm not the only one that talks about it. I think in the most because I'm not the only one that talks about it. They should try to do some changes. The other thing is Ice Golem. Ice Golem is probably the most painful dungeon to run during fusions and everything. And the reason is, let's be honest guys, besides for retaliation, at some point, crit rate, cursed, provoke, who uses offense in life? Nobody, okay? Defense, maybe mid-game. Even crit rate, guys, most people don't use unless you're up to mid-game. There are situations I had to put in some of my champions, but that's just because I didn't have anything else. Let's be honest, these are the only ones that you're going to be using. I feel they should pretty much maybe even get rid of life and offense artifacts and change them into something more interesting. Alright, now let's talk about the token trader. I know there have been a lot of changes, and now we do have a couple of new champions that pop in here every now and then. But my real question is, how many people use it? Like, unless you're not even a whale, if you're a kraken, you may actually have use, because it's very expensive, extremely expensive. Now, in this case, I actually do have, but I believe mine are in Faction Guardians, so for some reason it's not popping up any of them. Oh, I apologize, I forget, that's not my main account. Token Trader, I really don't feel it's worth it all. Sorry about my mistake. I actually had my main account before and I completely forgot. So yeah, it's really not worth it, to be honest with you guys. And the most, I don't believe you get enough life tokens for duplicate champions. So to get those champions, I think there should be a different way for you to get those tokens, maybe in events and everything. Even if you had to like get slowly and eventually be able to get those champions. Now, I will mention something that I don't think will ever happen, but wishful thinking. I do think, as we have the wish list for the soul stones, I do think that would be interesting to be able to get also on the soul merchant. I'm just throwing out there, but the reason I say that, a lot of times you spend like months waiting for a certain champion to drop, and it never does. So even if that was a small percentage of chance, and most because we have so many champions nowadays, I do think the wish list should also link to the soul merchant and be able to allow you to get the awakenings for champions you actually wish for, instead of just random champions you don't have and some of them you may never get. I feel that would be interesting. Do that in a certain way. I don't know how that would work, but I do think that would be a huge improvement too to the game. Now, one thing that bothers me, and I get it, you can't have everything. They already done something that really helped you level your characters, champions, like instant upgrade, also instant rank up, right? The only issue I have is that you cannot use your vault champions. I don't know why. I don't know how hard that would be for them to change, but I think it should, in the most because you can list, as you guys can see here, your champions from the vaults. But then if I was to try to just rank up all my champions, it will not allow me to do. Even if you guys looking here, I would have champions to do so. Okay, well, not in this moment as per se, but I would be able to. Just thrown out there, like if I come in here, this would work, but for some reason it's giving that 29. So this, there you go. Yeah, so would be interesting to be able to include the vault because, see, I have a lot of other 3-star champions, but they're in the vaults, therefore they did not get included on the instant rank up. And as you guys know, a lot of times you don't keep so many champions on your main area because you don't have space. I don't know why, not a programmer, used to be, not anymore. I just don't know why this is not possible. Now, last but not least, I know I mentioned that in the past, but Clarion, can you please be able to show the players mercy where they are on the mercy? I know you may think that it's gonna stop people from spending if they're far from mercy. I don't believe that. Honestly, I don't. I think actually you may have some people not doing it, but you're also gonna have people that know they're close to mercy and they'll just buy as many shards as necessary to be able to pull a legendary champion. And I know one of the reasons why you probably don't want to do it is like Hell Hades pulled 220 shards on a 2x and got no legendaries. Doesn't make sense. 220, you should pull one. He was probably like one from actually pulling a legendary. Some people are gonna be upset if they feel they're deep into mercy and they don't pull anything, but I think in the end of the day, more people gonna be happy with that change. Like I said, that's just what I think. I would like to know what people think would help the game to become better, and those are just my 2 cents. Anyway guys, I know it sounds like a rant today, but I'm just curious. So I appreciate you guys to coming here and listen to me rant, and as always, I'll see you in the game.